James for the untouchable, true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so I wanted to go ahead and sound off on this because I saw on this on Twitter and heard it in the interview with Gary Jonas on the Boxing Voice. Shout out to Gary Jonas. Shout out to the Boxing Voice doing their thing. Raymond Ford, a guy that we have a interesting history with here on True School Sports. You know, got a lot of love for Raymond Ford. He's no longer a featherweight. He's done what he needed to do as a featherweight. He can't make the weight no more. Gave people what I think is the fight of the year against Otabek Komotov. But he's going to 130, and he's seeking the glory up there. And Raymond Ford, this is a fighter where he's going to go ahead, and it looks like it's been reported by Gary Jonas that his next fight will be against Orlando Gonzalez, November 9th on the next Jaron Ennis card. So, you know, look, there hasn't been any official announcement, but it's something to talk about. If that is the case, I think it's a good fight. I think it's a solid fight for his first fight at 130. You know, Gonzalez is a fighter with deep Olympic amateur pedigree, good boxer, southpaw. Coming in on a 5-fight win streak since he last lost. It was 2022. He lost to Misael Lopez. Doesn't have a lot of pop, but can box. Full-fledged 130-pounder. You know, the ideal first opponent for Ford. And, you know, it'd be a chance for Gonzalez to get in the win column and upset the apple card and, you know, really put his name in the mix for some big things at 130. So let's talk about Raymond Ford at 130. What kind of fighter could we be looking at 130? Because, you know, I was there the night he beat Komotov, and I remember he got in the ring with the title that night, and he was already talking about being weight drained, having a hard time making the weight. Comes back the next fight against Nick Ball, loses that fight. You know, personally, I think the weight did play a small role in the loss. So I'm looking hopefully forward to seeing a stronger Raymond Ford. You know, Raymond Ford with more energy. Hopefully a Raymond Ford that will put his punches together a bit more. Because one frustrating thing I saw about the Nick Ball fight, because I actually went back and watched the fight the other day. One frustrating thing about that fight was Raymond Ford kept throwing these single jabs. Not really many combinations, and I feel like, you know, 130, if he's gonna have more energy and not have as bad of a weight cut, I'm hoping to see Raymond Ford put together some more combinations, utilize some of that speed he does have, and not shortchange himself as a fighter. You know, because if he can actually you know, do a little bit more of that, I think that he can get to another level as a fighter. And there's great fights out there for him. I mean, I know he was saying a while ago he wanted to fight O'Shaquie Foster. Foster lost his belt controversially to Raul Conceição, and he's going to do a rematch with him. So, look, belt or no belt, I would still like to see Raymond Ford fight O'Shaquie Foster. There's fights with like Otar Aronosian, who can't get a fight with nobody. He's a WBA mandatory. Lamont Roach. Who else am I missing? Anthony Kakachi, who seems to be the guy that everyone wants to fight because they think he's the easiest champion in the division, right? So there's good fights out there for Raymond Ford. And as far as him and Capo Gonzalez matching up, Raymond Ford, I think if there's going to be a fight where he's going to show what he could do as a 30-pounder, it's going to be that fight. Because I like Capo, he's good, but sometimes you get fighters that have had too much amateur experience. And he's one of those guys, likes to slow the pace down, good boxer from the outside, very technical, right? Doesn't have he's not a world-class puncher, right? So Raymond Ford is going to have to, I think, in that fight, show that, he can be the combination puncher. He can be the volume puncher. And I'm looking forward to that because I'll tell you this. There really shouldn't be any excuse for Raymond Ford as a fighter to not be throwing more combinations, to not be a more explosive fighter. I think there's another level he can get to at 30 now that he's not cutting so much damn weight. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize how big Raymond Ford was in person until I seen him in person. He's wide. He's a big kid, big frame. So that being said, it's a good fight. It's a real good fight. Orlando Gonzalez, I think when he came into the pros, he had some good hype around him. I remember hearing about him like 4 years ago. And then he fought Raymond Ramirez in a matchup of two highly experienced amateurs, lost that fight. Lost to Misael Lopez. He hasn't been able to quite cut it in the pros, but with this 5-fight win streak, with him being relatively active, there's a path to victory. And another thing about Ford too is Raymond Ford, man, I like this, but it's the truth. Like, Raymond Ford can get outboxed. He was getting outboxed by Komatov before he got the stoppage. You can outwork him. Aaron Perez and Edward Vasquez have shown that. Granted, he was at 126. Weight might have played a factor in those fights, but it's shown in his career. So there's past victory for Capo Gonzalez to outwork and outbox Raymond Ford. But also with Raymond Ford being at the weight now where he's not making such a big weight cut, I would expect a more energized fighter, a stronger fighter, and I'm looking for a more complete, more consistent fighter. Because look, he beat Komatov in the fight of the year, right? I thought he fought well against Nick Ball. I thought it was close enough to where you couldn't have given it to either guy, but there was a lack of consistency. There wasn't that same level of sharpness in the Ball fight as he had in the Komatov fight. And one thing about boxing, just boxing in general, is you have to show, to be great in anything, you got to show consistency. And Raymond Ford showed a lack of consistency. And truth be told, thus far in his career, he hasn't shown that consistency fight by fight. So that's the next level I feel he needs to get to be the fighter that he says he is, and that Shakur Stevenson says he is, and that a lot of people in the matchroom camp says he is. So those are my just initial thoughts on the fight. It'll be November 9th on the next Jaron Ennis card. That's what's being reported. So we'll see how it goes. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what Raymond Ford brings to a 130, a super featherweight division that really and truthfully isn't the best right now. You got nobody really great holding the belt. I mean, you got Kakachi, you got Conceição, you got Lamont Roach. I mean, there's a lot of guys, decent fighters, solid fighters, but nobody I would say is threatening to get on the pound for pound list. So there's a chance for him to make his mark. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Capo Gonzalez versus Raymond Ford? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I'm at the Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canterbury, New York. And for more great boxing content just like this video, make sure you click and subscribe right over here.